underestimate the power of PlayStation.
Beyond.
Beyond?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Beyond, episode 130. I'm your host, Greg Miller, alongside the computer controlling Ryan Clement.
Hey, what's up? I'm controlling computers.
Guides writing Colin Moriarty.
It's me, it's your boy Colin.
And Fix hosting Jessica Chobot.
That's right.
Jess, this is your first Podcast Beyond, if
This
I'm
is
right.
really exciting.
I am the guest.
Excited.
I'm the guest girl.
We got a rotating
today.
mic. We got Jessica Chobot in here. Sam Bishop missing in action,
Yeah, no
ladies
idea
and
where he
gentlemen.
is.
He's off the grid. His phone doesn't even go to voicemail. Texts aren't getting responded to. He gave me a bunch of mini reviews last night. I know he's alive, but at the moment missing. It could be Colin.
Yeah.
Everyone.
I
And we're
think
in
this
San
is true.
Francisco. We've moved.
Yeah.
This is the first Podcast Beyond from the new IGN offices.
Something tells me Bishop's outside the building in Brisbane trying to get in.
The old Brisbane building.
I really
huh?
think that's an entirely
Something tells me that I support what your mind is telling you.
It seems likely.
What's everybody think of the new digs?
In love
Yeah, I know,
with
right?
them.
I wouldn't go so far for myself as to
Really?
say in love, but
In like.
I'm in like. I'm in like.
Yeah.
It's a little loud for me, just because
True.
because those cubicle walls are so low that it's hard not to,
Exactly. I'm sure most listeners have seen photos of the old office. We had walls, like with cubicle walls
Giant
and
walls.
a hutch above you. Now it just comes up to about maybe, I don't know, shoulder level.
Yeah,
and you're
yeah.
sitting
Shoulder
down.
level. Yeah.
So you see everybody, you hear everybody. I myself had to go on iTunes and buy one of those like meditation babbling brook things. So I put on headphones and try to.
Really? Is that what you did?
Yeah, like I can't. I'm eventually going to adjust into it, but after being so able to just sit down and work and not have to worry about anything else, now I needed something to completely take my mind
Yeah,
off of.
totally. Well,
everyone.
and then Perry was like, Jess, we're moving you over by editorial because I used to be sitting with video.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, we want
They're
to
jerks.
get you over. What? Who? Video?
Video.
They're
Bunch
jerks?
of jerks.
They're
They
not
never
jerks. You
treated
guys are
right.
the jerks.
What?
Anyway,
Some
point
of
is
them
I was told to go sit by editorial so I can be hanging out with you guys more, like what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
So the loud level for me in regards to
Well, you got
editorial.
Nick Colin right there, and he's a chatterbox.
Is he
He
still
regular?
You'd
Yeah,
be
I'll tell you. Right, I'll
surprised.
give you some pro tips here for Nick Colin.
Yeah.
If you ever find something interesting on your computer, don't say it aloud. Because if you say, "Oh, what's out?" he'll be like, "What's going on?" And he comes over. He wants
Oh,
to know.
really?
And then he'll have a story about it. I love Nick. Nick knows that I love him.
He's been eyeballs deep in some really weird game
Yeah,
right
he's
now,
played some
and so
really
he's
weird
kind
video
of not. He's actually not really that bad at the moment. I don't
Okay.
know. I haven't experienced his other.
He's a great
Side.
kid. Don't worry about
It
it.
is true that when you have something interesting to show, he will be there to see it.
He enjoys stuff.
He
He
does.
enjoys good things. Colin, you enjoy The Office. Do you like it?
Yeah, it's cool.
You don't like your seat, though, do
No,
you?
awful.
Where's your seat?
Why
Colin?
don't you like
Horrendous.
Why don't you like your seat?
Colin has we have this massive kitchen area, and then upstairs is this awesome cafeteria stocked with food we can eat for free anytime. But Colin has like this secondary mini kitchen over by him. There's one refrigerator there, a sink, and a coffee machine.
Yeah.
So everyone comes over there and fools around. The ice machine's broken,
Yeah.
so they're always trying to get ice, and there's conversation about the ice machine not working.
Yeah,
That's funny.
it's problematic. I actually don't care about the noise at all because I'm used to it from sitting in editorial for 3 years. But just a lot of visual stimuli all the time. Like
Walking
you're constantly
back
being
and forth.
drawn up. Like you see who's walking by and stuff like every 10 seconds. So it was a problem.
I'm telling you, you're going to get used to it, man.
Well, they're actually
Exactly.
they're going back to the old office and getting a wall that they're going to put there from like the old office.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's way too much crap around your desk.
Yeah, it was annoying and stuff like that, but they're working hard to fix it. It's not like no one's paying attention, so I don't really care. I'm kind of over it.
And I do want to apologize to the listeners ahead of time because I'm really fickle about this stuff. I still think I'm sounding weird on this new setup we have in our podcast room.
I don't think you sound bad.
If the listeners can tell that I sound weird, I'm sorry.
Keep
I
in
can't
mind-
figure it out.
Keep in mind, we
You
always
seem fine
sound
to
different
me.
on our own
Yes,
headsets.
and maybe
when we-
it's just on our output that
Yeah, yeah.
I'm hearing it weird.
Is it
and
just
it's
me, or
not.
how good is it to go upstairs where the MySpace area is and just walk in and grab all of the snacks?
Oh my god, it's so good. Every morning we
Be
make
like,
a cheese run
"Hello,
Pop-Tarts.
folks."
Yeah. Hi, I'm never gonna speak to
We've
any of you.
we've actually received an email about please don't hoard the food
Yeah.
upstairs.
I don't think
Are
they
you
were ready for
serious
the
already?
editorial
You know what?
locusts.
I wouldn't. I can say some. Just gonna keep my mouth shut.
Yeah. I think it'll be interesting how long the free food lasts.
Free cereal is nice in the morning.
It's amazing.
The Snapple with lunch is nice as
Yeah.
well.
Maybe if they would step up to like Facebook level, we would start caring.
Yeah.
Oh, easy.
That was rough. Joe's throwing stones. All right,
That's
let's
the
start it
first,
off like we always start it off and will always start it off
Yeah.
with the Roper Report.
It's time for some news.
All right, we had a lot of news to work through, folks, because we couldn't podcast last week. The whole podcast room broken down. being moved to San Francisco. So we missed some stuff. Colin,
Yo.
Killzone 3 is confirmed according to Jack
Yeah.
Trenton. How are you excited for that one?
I'm quite excited for
He
that.
says, this is just the frosting on the cake. I'm saving the batter for E3.
Hell yeah.
Good
he
stuff
is.
is coming. How about that? The PlayStation
Did he
move.
say frosting
forget
on the
about that.
cake batter for E3?
He did, yes. But he was talking about the PlayStation move not getting this amazing reception.
I thought that was like a Greg Miller thing.
No, that's a direct quote.
No, I
okay.
think we actually quoted that on Fix.
He talks about
Yeah.
the move, and then he says, well, Killzone 3 is definitely coming, maybe not for E3, but he writes, quote, this is just the frosting on the cake. I'm saving the batter for E3. We will absolutely bring the heat. There's a lot to talk about. It's one of the best
He's
marketing
bringing the
PR
heat? Oh my
pushed
God,
out quotes you will
amazing.
ever see in
Does
your
that mean
life.
he's baking the
I
cake
hate
at
cake.
E3?
With
You
the
don't
heat.
like cake?
He's
You
baking
hate
the
cake?
cake at E3 with the heat. Yes,
Are you
I
one of
hate
these
cake.
birthday pie people? Or
I
not?
like pie.
Yeah.
I don't like cake.
Wouldn't be baking the cake, isn't that kind of waste? They should be working on the game. So baking cakes.
I think
That was a bad joke.
missed that.
All
Yeah, it
the
wasn't
Guerrilla
it. It wasn't
Games
it.
just
Wah,
images
wah.
of baking.
Colin, I
Cooking
got
Mama
some.
just got stolen.
Got some
Moved
good news
over
for
to
you.
PS3.
What's up?
Game of the month.
Yeah.
God of War 3
Uh-huh.
on PS3.
Uh-huh.
PSP Lunar. PSN Mega Man 10.
Mega Man 10. Sick.
Tell me a little bit about that Mega Man 10. You love it. You play it all the time.
That's awesome, yeah. I got my time down to about 33 minutes.
Yeah? Does that put you at the top of the leaderboards yet?
No, it doesn't. Not even close.
Oh.
Yeah, kids are crazy about it. And I haven't played it in a couple weeks, but I looked like a few days ago. It's like 33, 34 minutes, something of this nature. And I was like in the 20s in the world or something like that, which is pathetic. I was number one for a little while, but then these kids got crazy with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Are you going to keep working or are you done?
I think I'm done. Yeah, until the DLC comes out, then I'll start playing again.
Okay.
Yeah. Excellent, though, game.
Last week, Colin, I went to PAX. Sat in on a little panel
You
about
went
a
to
game.
my old stomping grounds.
I
in
did.
Boston.
The Boston Mass, as they call it. I
Yeah,
kept
yeah,
asking
yeah.
if they knew you.
Yeah,
Nobody
no one knew me. No one
nobody knew you.
Yeah, I don't
Colin
know, that
Moran.
doesn't surprise me.
But I went to a panel about a little game you and I like a little bit called Dead Space.
Oh, I love that game.
They showed some footage from Dead Space 2. In it, you fly. Thoughts?
Yeah.
Come on, this was awesome, dude. You're in a train car, and they break apart, so you got to see the other train car. So Isaac just jumps out, does this little hover move like Iron Man, flies over to the
Okay,
next one.
flying is in like it's 0G and he's just.
No, this is like a train. Like imagine you're on the Muni, and the Muni breaks in half, and you need to get to that other car, and you fly.
Why was the
So he
Muni
has
in
a
space?
jetpack?
No, his engineer suit this time, or whatever suit it is. I'm assuming they're not going to say he's still an engineer. He's a badass now.
It's not
He needs
fun
real
anymore, then.
weapons. Anyways, though, he has like thrusters on his shins and stuff, and his
see.
boots. They kind of level him out, and then he
Shin
shoots away.
thrusters.
Why was the train in space?
Because it was taking him from one part of the ship he was on, I'm imagining, to another. There was no context given. to
Okay.
this, but I'm imagining it's just like the tram in Dead Space, the original.
Right.
You need to get around the Ushimura.
True enough.
There you go. See? So shut your face.
I was thinking more of a locomotive.
Your mouth.
Locomotive.
Yeah.
He's just on a steam engine train. He time traveled to Back to the Future 3 times.
A horse running alongside.
Hey, Ryan.
Yeah, hi.
Apparently, there's going to be some news about Final Fantasy IX coming to PSN.
Okay,
It's supposed to be here by Friday. We're almost there, though.
excellent.
How do you feel
That's
about this?
Is that tomorrow?
Yes,
Is it
that
tomorrow,
would be
Friday?
Tomorrow would be Friday.
Oh.
What do you think about this? Do you like the Final Fantasy IXs?
Yeah.
Was that a good one?
Yeah, actually, 9 is surprisingly one of the only ones I haven't played of the 7, 8, 9 PlayStation era because I don't know. I never got to it. I own it. I went out of my way to buy the original PlayStation 1 copy of it, like long after it came out.
Yeah.
Let me give you a
It's funny because
spoiler.
I'm the same way. I have all those and I never played 9.
Yeah, I think, and it's so funny because it's considered like the return to form, the classic. It's where there's black mages and there's chocobos and there's.
Chocobo, bro.
And I just haven't. Yeah, I
It's a
haven't
lot
come to it
better
yet.
than 7 and 8. You should definitely,
Yeah, it's a lot
play
better
it.
than 7 and 8. Why don't you just take that opinion and leave
I would have to agree.
with it?
Jessica Chobot, you just beat
8's
God of
my
War
favorite.
3.
I do like 8.
I didn't beat it.
Oh,
No, I'm almost
liar.
done. I beat Heavy Rain.
Oh, okay,
quote
okay.
unquote beat
How,
Heavy
did
Rain.
you only do the one ending?
No spoilers, please.
No spoilers. How, did you just do it like one time through, or have you gone back to
No,
double up?
I haven't gone through again. I actually didn't really like Heavy Rain that much. I thought that the control scheme with it was so piss poor that it did not justify the fake,
How long-
CSI mediocre storyline.
How long did you play it?
Ooh,
Like, did you play it all in one?
Zing.
Did you play it like in one sitting, like 1 week, or did you break it up and keep coming back at different times? Like, was it spread out over a month, or was it condensed to?
No. It was pretty condensed. I mean, it probably took me just with work and travel and stuff,
Obviously.
probably like week and a half, 2 weeks.
Okay.
Just coming back
See, I
and
think,
forth to that, but
Like,
and then
for
I would
me,
play God
the
of War
controls
for a
were
while.
so great by the end of that game. I felt like they were completely natural and normal for me, and I think it's maybe one of those things where, like, when I played it over the course of 2 days in just giant blocks of playing. And I think by that point is like, because it is a weird control scheme. So if it was broken up, I would think maybe that has something.
I don't know. The whole
You didn't
thing
even
to
like
me
the
was
storyline
just-
either, huh?
I shouldn't say I didn't like the storyline. I mean, I always like kind of mysteries and dark games.
Thrillers.
I like dark games, but I wasn't overly surprised when I found out what I found out.
Yeah.
And it was very formulaic. Like, oh, of course. I just kind of knew everything that was going to happen before it happened.
Gotcha. I think I'm just bad at doing that. I think I can never predict what's happening.
Damon always says that too. We went and saw Shutter Island, and I left, and I was like, that movie's terrible. And he's like, why? And I'm like, I knew this was going to. He's like, well, I just don't think ahead. Like, I can't understand they're sitting there and having that part of your brain shut off. I couldn't do it. Anyways, though, what I was driving at.
Yes.
You're going to beat God of War. But then I bet you're going to go back and beat it again. And then you're going to get this God of War teaser site. Web address. It got updated.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was driving at.
Okay.
Oh, wait, did it
Great, fantastic.
When did it get updated?
That's what I will do now.
Last week. It's the little meter filled in more. There's this 4-part meter, folks. It's filling in with red. We don't know what's going to happen. Is it going to be another God of War game, DLC, some kind of craziness? Who knows?
I'm actually right at the end of God of War 3, and I cannot remember for the life of me. I think it's L1X to how do you grab the harpy so you can ride her? And I keep getting smashed by those.
Sorry.
And I keep getting dropped onto these spikes.
And I keep getting dropped on the
That will do it. That would
Because I
make just
can't.
about anybody angry,
Well,
I think.
and then I found a glitch. I actually found a glitch because I had jumped just as the spikes were going to push through the bottom, and then somehow my character actually landed in such a way that I was in between spikes, so I wasn't registering it as a death.
All right.
So I'm like, oh God, don't touch the controller, don't move. I'm like not breathing because I'm like one false shake and I'm screwed. And then I was like, got past that point and thought, oh yeah, I'm done. Like I did it. I can finally get to the end. Oh, I don't have to even deal with the harpy. Blah 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 blah. And then all of a sudden they had it do it again, and I'm like,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because glitches don't happen twice, apparently.
Overall, how are you enjoying the game, though?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love God of War.
Good.
It's fantastic.
I had a lot of fun with it as well. Do you love Lost Planet? Yeah, that's how I think we all. Anybody care about anybody in here a Lost Planet 2 fan? Lost Planet 2 excited
I
for
didn't
it?
think that.
I've played some of the demo for Lost Planet 2 with the multiplayer stuff. I thought the co-op. I thought it was fun.
Well, the good news is, if you play that demo like you have, you're going to get a free bonus weapon in the game.
Cool.
So there's some news for you.
Of course, Inafune-san, father of Mega Man, is the director of that game, I believe.
So you're contractually obligated to love it.
Right, exactly.
Okay, I understand.
Did you play the first one?
No. Then I'm not going to play the second one either.
I don't like being lost. That's my problem. Come on. Anyways.
You love the show Lost, though.
No, I really don't. I'm so ready for that show to be over with.
Oh, really?
I've been over it for quite some time.
Okay, never mind then.
Late breaking news today. Greatest hits, 10 titles added. As of this morning, Infamous, Colin. How about that? If you haven't bought Infamous,
Infamous is the best game on PS3,
Get
so
out
why
there.
don't you go buy it?
$39.99. What are you doing?
Such a
Killzone
load.
2, Colin.
Killzone 2, another fine title.
Resistance 2.
Better than Killzone 2.
No, that is crazy. You'll stop right there. You don't have to listen to about that. God of War collection. Lots of good stuff out there.
You haven't named anything that I'm ecstatic about besides
Yeah, I know,
Killzone
because
2.
you don't.
Infamous
you don't
is really
play.
good.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
Infamous
Jessica
is
Chobot.
awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jessica.
Best
Chobot.
game
That is really
released
fun.
on the system easily.
Meh.
Yeah, you haven't. How far are you in Infamous right now?
Huh?
Exactly.
Where was I 2 years ago when I stopped
An hour in, I think.
What made you stop?
Because I got bored with it.
Oh, that'll do it.
It's crazy, man.
I don't know how you got bored, but
The story's so good.
Story isn't good.
Oh, you're nuts, dude.
Story-
Crazy.
no matter what like plot twists
I
or
love you
what
so much, and I
happens-
hate you so much.
I know.
at the same time.
No matter what happens, it's just if it's not told well, then I can't get into it.
You didn't
And
even like the voice of survival?
I just didn't think it was
He probably
told
he's
very
seen
well.
him once for the food drop. That was it. Ever been called a terrorist? That's probably Clement's like, I don't
the
want
dude
to
on the
called.
TV.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Love that guy.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
So much drama there. All right, let's wrap this up. The biggest news of the week.
Getting angry.
The biggest news of the week, of course, a new firmware, Ryan.
Woo!
3.21. What's it do, everybody? It removes Linux support, quote, due to security concerns. I guess people think this is hacking it. Before we're flipping the script here, bringing in a little bit of a reader mail right now.
Okay.
Lord XR, he says, where does removing the install other OS feature rate on your caring scale? It rates about a 0 on mine. I agree. Personally, it's a 0. However, Clements was saying
Yes,
He's got
I
a friend
have
who cares.
a buddy back on the East Coast who is near and dear to my heart, and he actually is an IGN reader with what's his tag? Like Siru Ukaibi. I think he has a Japanese name for his tag, or a Japanese sounding name for his tag. And he was not very happy about this at all because he is very into modding stuff, building his own computers, like tweaking his OS on his computers, doing crazy things with. Like hacking into systems, probably all the stuff that you probably should not
The
be
whole
doing.
reason they're removing it is what this kid
But,
does.
and so in the homebrew community, I mean, he doesn't always do things that are illegal, and so in the homebrew community where people are just trying to like do cool things on the systems that you couldn't normally do,
Right.
that's bad news.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he was not happy about it, and he actually was like, "I hope you guys defend the consumers and not defend Sony about it."
Well, I wonder.
So that's me defending him and the consumer.
I mean, just a few weeks ago, that guy announced that he finally hacked and broke open the
Exactly,
system. So this must have
exactly.
something to do with that. They must have figured out how he did it.
How do you feel about it, Colin?
I don't care.
With your laws and legalities and American rights and stuff.
I don't care. I couldn't care less about that.
Okay, good.
But I understand why people would. Yeah.
Chobot, I know you get on that Linux all the time.
Yeah, I'm constant.
Get on that Linux.
I've got a
that Linux train.
Well,
no, I don't care.
as somebody
One
who
bit.
doesn't hack, I have to buy my games. But every week, Colin, I wander
Yeah.
around the mall, just
Right,
lost.
right.
I don't know where games would be. or
Yeah, yeah.
What would be out? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep buying Super Top Shop on PS1. I need to know if there's
Oh.
other things out.
Okay. Well, this is good news because I have the official IGN list of upcoming PlayStation software on all 3 platforms by the IGN editors.
Quick interlude
There-
before
this-
Colin starts with that.
This is a paltry
Or
list. This is a paltry list.
Okay.
Colin refuses to be
No,
derailed.
No. I want to just get this over with because
All
this
right.
list. This is not a good list.
Okay. Fair enough.
IMO.
I'm
Do you
up.
want an interlude though?
No, it's fine. Go ahead.
I'm curious about
Sure.
the list.
We can do an epilogue after this.
Yeah, do
Ooh,
an
an
epilogue.
epilogue. Yeah, there we
Epilogue's
go.
good.
Okay.
It's classic.
The only PS3 game is Prison Break: The Conspiracy,
Yeah.
which we gave it 3.5. PS2, Sakura Wars, aka
Sakura.
okay, So Long My Love, 9.0. Sam Bishop gave it.
Very exciting. If you haven't read that review, click over to ps2.ign.com. It's actually really, really good.
And PSP, we got 2 games this week, which is a little bizarre, actually. Dead or Alive Paradise, Nate gave it a 5.0.
Oh.
And we haven't reviewed it yet, but Mimana IR Chronicles, are you doing that?
Whoops. Yeah.
Yeah.
That review in a
Is
month.
that out now? Oh
Apparently-
wait, no. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I am.
Yeah,
I forgot.
apparently that's out. We don't have a review for it yet. Keep an eye out for it soon.
Not soon.
Don't keep an eye out for it soon.
It'll be around
Soonish.
one day.
Yes, eventually. Soon.
Okay.
I'll do my best.
Okay.
Okay. What's your epilogue,
epilogue?
before telling us what
Okay,
zombie blog
so
next?
one of a reader contacted me and was kind of hoping that now that Roper has moved on and that we're trying to shake things up in the new office, he wanted a shake up in the formatting of the show itself.
And you tell us this on the air
Yeah.
when we have no room to react.
No, you have plenty of room to react because one of his main complaints was actually just what we just went through, the official list.
Okay.
And he just thinks it doesn't really work because, first of all, sometimes the stuff isn't upcoming because it's already out.
Well, it's always
Second
out.
of all, it's not really 3 platforms anymore because we got PSN. Sometimes we talk about PS1 games. I mean, I don't know. I feel like
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to change the title of this segment. That's all I'm saying.
Really?
Yeah.
Sounds
I
like
don't
you
know
guys
about
just
that.
got in trouble.
No, there's
No,
no
no,
trouble
no.
to be had.
See, I think the
just think we
platform's
need to
fine.
evolve.
The platform's fine because you figure, oh, great, I'm going to play a PSN game. You don't just beam it to your hands.
Yeah.
It's not Minority Report. You need a PS3 or you need a PSP.
Yeah.
And we just did a PS2 game today.
Yeah, that makes more sense. But I think that, yeah, I guess upcoming is just maybe.
No, well, upcoming is,
bothering me now.
well, if we're going to do that, then what about Zombie Blognack? Blognack doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense anymore. Jeff Rubenstein is Zombie Blognack, as everyone knows.
Yes.
He's the one who feeds us information. Awesomely, last week he was in New York for a PlayStation Blog community event. One of you came up to him and said, "Hey, Zombie Blognack!" Even though Rubenstein has never listened to the show, he never understood that he was Zombie Blognack, nor understood what it meant. So I got a text from him saying, "Who is Zombie Blognack, and why do I think you are involved with it?"
That is awesome.
So
Well, anyway, all right. Well, we can keep. The
it's
name.
whatever.
I'm
we
just
can do
bringing it up.
The show is a
Possibilities.
constantly evolving force.
How about we just ask the readers, do you have any recommendations on what you might want it to be called specifically?
Yes.
Maybe we'll consider it,
Yeah, there you go.
but I wouldn't
Email
count
us
on
in.
it.
Beyond@ign.com.
Just like the overwhelming response we got for keeping the Roper Report
Yeah.
called the Roper
Which is the
Report.
right call.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
so too.
Ryan Clements is the only one.
I was fine with it. No problems for me.
All right, what do you got on the? What's coming up on the network? What am I
No,
downloading
just kidding.
tonight?
No, I got it. All right, so This week's Spring Fever Highlights celebrates puzzle games. You know, Spring Fever, they got all
Cheap
sorts
games.
of crazy cheap games. Find Echo Chrome and Echo Shift for $4.99. The regular price was $9.99, so it's pretty
Cool.
much half off. That's valid through the 7th of April. There's a bunch of updates. Cuboid is on sale. Digger is on sale. Magic Orbs with a Z is
You
on
need to buy
sale.
that. Magic Orbs is awesome.
All right, Mahjong Tales,
You look at
Ancient
this
Wisdom is on sale.
Don't
You
buy
weren't-
that one.
weren't
Do not
so
buy
fond of that
Mahjong
one.
Tales.
Mushroom Wars is on sale. Smash Cars is on sale. All sorts of crazy stuff's on sale. There's a new episode of Core out.
Yes.
Everybody loves Core.
They do a 3D dot game heroes thing.
Do they? Yes, they do actually. And they have something on God of War 3. Also Split Second. And 'cause I hear that Split Second is actually pretty fun.
It's supposed to be really.
Yes.
It looks really pretty.
So downloadable games, we have NBA Unrivaled for $14.99. I actually don't really. I've never heard of that game, nor do I care because it has NBA in the title.
Oh, what about NBA Jam? Are you gonna play the new NBA Jam?
Are they remaking Jam?
Yeah, hell, you haven't been
For
following
the
this?
Wii?
No.
Are you talking about that one?
Yeah, yeah.
Something
For
tells
the
me no one's
Wii?
going to be playing that game.
Yeah.
Well, no, but
We've got some good
it'll
stuff.
get ported over. It'll pull a Mega Man. I thought it already got announced that it was. Was it not? Am I crying?
don't
Am
know.
I about to start crying?
I didn't even know. No, don't cry yet.
Okay.
Cry later. Let's see. There's also some Dragon Ball stuff. No incredible. Guitar Hero, Rock Band.
What about minis? You got any PSP
Looking
minis
for
coming
it.
up? All right, good. That's what I
So
care
for
about.
PlayStation Store for
Here we
PSP.
go. Hold on to your ass.
No, don't hold on to anything. Buzz Master Quiz for $15.99. Dead or Alive Paradise for $29.99. Nate loved that game. Also, the Blaze Blue Calamity Trigger, the original Blaze Blue, is now available for the PSP. That actually seemed pretty good from when I tested it out, and I'm going to have a review for that as soon as I can. I know that needs to go up soon. Let's see. There's some add-on game content that no one cares about. No minis, it looks like, Greg. I'm
All
sorry.
right. Well,
Wow.
Sorry to disappoint.
we'll have the review up probably tomorrow. We're gonna have our reviews for minis back on track. Everything you want to know about minis should be up tomorrow. However, I'll tell you right now, the horribly named Alien Zombie Death, worth buying. But I know it's a bad name. You got to trust me on it.
Yeah, that is a bad
It's
name.
actually a good game.
Man, this is the second zombie game that you've been into recently.
It's not even really zombies. You're a little spaceman. It's a 2D thing. You're hopping between platforms, shooting dudes. It's
Cool.
a nice little survival game. Not bad. Not bad.
Before we get to pick of the week, can I just interrupt real quick
Of course
to
you
ask
can.
a question?
Sure.
What of the Shatter thing you were telling me about? Can you just elaborate on what you were telling me?
Sure. Chris Morrell, one of the PlayStation guys, did an interview with one of the developers on the PlayStation blog yesterday. Did I tell you about it yesterday or the day before?
Maybe the day before.
Yeah. So they were just talking about potentially adding multiplayer features, and I only watched half of the interview,
Okay.
and then I got pulled away.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take a look at that.
Yeah, they're going. It sounds like they're going to add multiplayer to Shatter, and it sounds like they are going to try and put out the soundtrack in some form or another.
Yeah, which
maybe
is
it's like a
awesome.
digital download. Both of which is great news for you, right?
Oh, listeners, have you downloaded Shatter yet? And if not, why not? Because it's the best game on PlayStation Network, except for Mega Man 10.
Except for Super Stardust HD.
Quick, touching back to this really quick. NBA Jam apparently is Wii exclusive right now. Not announced for the That's crazy talk. I'm telling them right now, bring it to the PSN. When this happens, everyone, you can thank me.
Yeah, I imagine it's
Start
probably
putting some
going to.
pressure on them. Come on. Come on, Showbot. You
I'll
remember
play
this
it.
NBA Jams.
I
I
actually
do.
did. That's one of the rare sports games I played and
Yeah.
liked.
All right. We've been dragging.
Also, like double
We're not
dribble.
dragging.
quite
This
a-
is fun.
No, I know, but I don't want to be long in the tooth so early
Nah,
on.
I understand.
The readers are the star
we're
of
only
the show.
we're only about 20 minutes in. You're
All
fine.
right, okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, how about a pick of the week?
Let's do it.
Pick of the week.
Prison Break.
No. Sakura Wars.
Someone pauses the episode, and runs out and buys it.
comes back. Oh, it was a joke. April Fools.
If you're basing it on scores, it's got to be Sakura Wars.
Yeah, I mean that's
Sakura.
not. It's a strategy RPG in the way Valkyria Chronicles was,
means
but
cherry
it's a
blossom.
dating sim as well. So it's very Japanese.
Of course it is.
It
It's a
sounds,
dating sim
it's-
also?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's your whole
Oh, you would
thing.
totally
is that
dig it.
you're one.
I would totally
you're,
love
you're
it.
one dude, and you get and then there's a mech army, and you get transferred into a platoon of just women,
Yeah.
and they're all
It's a-
complete bitches, and
it's
so
a-
you have to
Well,
start
it's based
befriending
off
them and
the
dating them.
manga anime, isn't it?
It's that Sakura Tyson something with. Yeah, you're right though.
Yeah,
I just
the-
forgot what the name is.
Sounds like
Yeah.
Thousand Arms. Yeah.
When did you also reference Thousand Arms recently
I
to
don't
me?
know.
In the voice acting. You're like, man, Thousand Arms had better voice acting. It did not have better voice acting.
Like Final Fantasy 13 we
than
were talking
13.
about, which has abysmal voice acting.
That's such BS.
Uh,
That's
such
not
BS.
BS.
Oh, it's such BS.
I will fight you,
You
on
can.
this.
I will.
Physically fight
ripped
you.
off Quinn's jacket, ready to go.
I'm sorry, just a quick note on Final Fantasy 13. Now, I know you loved it. I know a lot of people love it, just like the people love 12, and that game was awful too. So, I played the game for about an hour and a half or
Yeah,
whatever.
you really
I can't
gave it a
I can't do it
chance.
anymore. I can't do it anymore. I
Shut
can't
up,
play.
Infamous. That's what you did.
I played Infamous for hours.
You did
hours
not.
and
Liar.
hours.
Bring in your
no,
save file.
That's not.
Bring in your save file.
That was true. All right, I played it for a long time. I got through like half of the entire second island. That requires a lot of time.
That's true.
And the first island, I cleared the entire thing. I collected everything. Don't give me this BS. All right, I gave it a
give it a
chance. I gave it a chance.
All right.
He played
Well, I'm about
1.5 hours
10
of a
hours
40
in
to
on Final
60 hour
Fantasy,
game.
and I think the
The
voice
game hasn't
acting
even
is
opened up yet.
horrendous.
You're playing it in English.
Yes.
Okay.
You have to. There's no Japanese dub on that English
I
release.
apologize.
It's so,
Launch.
it's so bad.
It's not bad.
It's so bad.
All right, what are you comparing it to? Have you played some bad JRPGs recently? Have you heard some of the
I'm
bad
not-
voice acting out there? It's atrocious sometimes. That stuff's really good.
You're out of, then that's really saying something poor for Square.
No, it's really good.
Really bad.
I think that the problem with people have with the immediate reaction
the
to
only good one in there is Lightning, I think.
Yes, well, Ellie Hillis is amazing and lovely. But anyway, that's the voice actress. She's awesome. But she also played Liara, by the way, in Mass Effect, just as a little.
She also hit on me at the Final Fantasy break.
Did she really?
She kept saying how good I look. She wanted to stop saying how good.
Oh,
She's rubbing
stop.
my
You're
back. I'm not making it
lying.
up. If I'm lying, I'm dying, ladies and gentlemen.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I've never heard that one.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
good.
But what was
You're
I gonna
lying,
say?
Greg.
I'm
Miller.
so not. I even at one point had to say I have a girlfriend.
I believe him here. Yeah. But anyway,
Wow.
the problem with a lot of JRPGs now is just that there's. I mean, you should know this. There's a cultural gap with how.
But that doesn't mean that the tone
perform.
of a
It
line
absolutely
can be delivered
it kind
incorrectly.
of controls how that they.
That's bull.
Oh, we don't
Write
curse
it
on
down.
the podcast.
Write it
now.
down.
Now I have to go
Sorry.
edit it. Oh,
That's why I did
What's
it.
the time? Quick.
Because I'm punishing you.
for having an
What's the
opinion.
time?
It's
For
26
having an opinion and you're being
26
punished.
minutes.
Yes.
Can they say BS on TV? Maybe we can
Thanks.
get away with that one. No?
No, I don't think
No,
so.
they can't say that
Yeah,
on
no.
TV.
I'll
You
edit
can't
it out,
say
it's fine.
BS
Gosh
on
darn
TV?
it.
Can't say that on
I'm
television.
saying you
Oh,
say
you mean
BS,
the?
can't
I
say the
see.
real
I
word.
see
Yeah.
the whole thing.
So what? Can you just real quick?
No,
we're
do you
almost
want to
done.
make this topic of the week?
Maybe, but before we get into that, what
This will be
you said,
part one of topic of the week.
Okay.
How much have you played so far?
I'm about 10 hours in.
All right, 10 hours in. So you said like the tone it cannot be delivered incorrectly. So
Maybe
can you give
I'm
me an example?
misunderstanding what you're saying, but from what I'm hearing you tell me is that you're saying the lost in translation aspect of going from Japanese to English suddenly affects bad English voice acting, which I think is incorrect.
I think that the way that the characters are performing their digital roles kind of controls certain aspects of a voice actor's performance. Like for example, when a character grimaces and makes a face for making a sound, the actor kind of has to do the kind of thing, but that's not as common in English games because that's a Japanese thing.
Should we blame the writer instead then? Because
no, we should
literally,
just blame the fact that it's a Japanese game and the Japanese perform differently than a Western audience.
So here's a question. It's a
it's like
Japanese game, granted that it's made by Square, obviously, but they made an
Right.
English version. I
Yes.
mean, it's not like you're going and watching the dub or you're watching an anime that's been basically
Right.
translated for you.
Yeah.
So knowing that they have an English market coming out,
Yeah.
why wouldn't they just find a writer that could write for the English market?
Because I think
And do voice acting
think
that
it's
can do it for the English market. The first 2 hours of that voiceover is nothing but
Yeah, exactly, and that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Though,
like that
is
sound
and that's bad.
Can you slow that down and draw out all the sounds? So I think that's exactly it, and that's the problem. But this is gonna be the best. That's exactly the problem. Is that if you watch a lot of anime, if you play a lot of Japanese video games, the Japanese just do even live action Japanese movies. It's the cultural thing. It's the way they emote and express. It's different, and so that Square Enix would never I don't even think they would know how to make an American game. They've
And that's
tried.
why Japanese developers should now start hiring some English developers.
Yeah, but I think that's also just not tradition. So, and that the
Yeah.
Japanese society is very
Now,
traditional.
did you go to
That's definitely-
TGS last year? Have you seen how that tradition's
Not-
really helped them out lately?
Yeah, not last year,
It's a
but
good
I went
point.
to
I
the
mean,
year
how much, how long do you think they stick with tradition as far as in game
Oh,
developing?
yeah. I mean, this is.
You're seeing
I'm
a
not,
switch to
Yeah, I'm not
westernizing.
defending the fact that them sticking with tradition and sticking to these very rigid, cultural methods is good because it does have negative side effects. Like you can see that a lot of the times these Japanese developers are struggling with things because they almost are.
Hey guys, I brought you a Sam. Sam
my
Bishop.
God.
Oh my God.
Jack
he's not
DeVries just
dead.
walked in here in his tuxedo shirt and Sam Bishop in tow.
Hey Sam.
Thanks, Jack.
I bet you have a story.
What's that?
I bet you have a story.
Yeah, I do.
Did you go to
All right,
Brisbane?
let's see if we get. Is mic on?
I just put it in.
No, it's
No.
not, but I can turn it on. Maybe.
Okay.
You got stuck in the tunnel.
Yeah, and the subway coming in.
Yeah.
Hold on,
there was
folks.
a medical
We're gonna-
emergency.
we're gonna take
oh,
a
then the
quick-
BART was on fire too. I heard. On the same day
No, I
there was
thought
a
the BART was on fire yesterday.
I thought,
Shut it
no,
off.
it's today. I thought there was a
Hold on.
medical emergency
Everybody,
on
wait.
Muni.
Everybody stop talking. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're back with Sam Bishop added in. Here we go.
What's going
All right.
on?
All right, so to bring you up
He
to speed,
survived.
Sam, what's
Yes.
happened here is
Yes.
that we have pick of the week has devolved into topic of the week.
Oh,
so
no.
before we go any further, the trophy tip of the week: don't play How to Train Your Dragons for trophies. It's not as
no.
easy as you think it would be. I'm sure you could farm them out if you wanted to,
Yeah.
but it's going to be a grind. Don't do it.
I have it sitting right there. I haven't actually touched
All
it
right.
yet. So, okay,
so now
good.
back to our first part of topic of the week, if not the entire topic of the week.
Okay.
Final Fantasy 13, Sam.
Yeah.
Jessica Chobot hates it.
No, I don't hate it. I
hate
just
voice
think the
acting.
voice acting's not
Colin
up to par.
hates it.
I'm just over JRPGs. They're so bad compared to WRPGs now. It's like not even funny. You know, it's not even the parity between them is just
Let me
ridiculous.
put it this way: if I was given Mass Effect 2 or Final Fantasy 13 and told you can only choose one to play, Mass Effect 2.
By the
Yeah,
way,
obviously.
this is very important. I love your nails, Jess.
Thanks. So I got little Japanese like Harajuku nails over from Japantown.
They're awesome.
Nice.
Thank you
Anyway,
so much.
You're welcome. All right. So that was the thing, and what I was discussing with Jess was that I think this is all the voice acting aspect is all part of the whole cultural gap, and how they perform, how they do drama is very different than how Westerners do drama, and it forces American voice actors into something that sounds unnatural and forced. And I don't know if that's necessarily a fault of the actor. I think it's a fault of the medium.
But
they're
now we've
performing
actually
in.
kind of gone from there.
And now the
into,
thread we're going down is
Yeah.
that Japanese development is still locked in a very traditional sense of how the culture is games, how they take apart games, and now we're saying what's the future of that? How are we breaking off from that? Because
Well,
obviously we talked about TGS,
Yes,
which
and
was
so
dominated by
before
Western developers.
we jump into that and continue that conversation, I just want to make a quick point: is that I don't know how you guys experience it from the editorial side of things, from media as far as video side of things. I mean, and I've got a couple friends in development that work with Japanese companies, which I'm sure you guys all do too. A great example, just to give the listeners at home an idea of kind of the strain it puts for us in our jobs in regards to dealing with with that kind of culture and their business mentality, is it's literally like you request, you have to make a request for us, let's say we want to get a screen grab of something. We have to make a request over to our friends at, like, just as an example, let's say Sega US. So then Sega US, has to go and go through their, line of hierarchy, and then eventually it becomes, well, can you please send 3 forms in English, Japanese, and and under the light of a full moon with the blood of a newborn, can we get approval? Can we get approval on this so that we can show the screenshot of trees?
Yeah.
And then you're told, well, can you please duplicate those forms and send back? And then this is all, can you send it in Japanese and in English? Blah 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 blah. This happens goes back and forth, months later. You finally get the approval you need. You go to take the screenshot of trees, and then you run into the security guard that says, no, you can't take anything off the you can't take anything with camera. And then you're like, but that kid right there with his handy cam is shooting right in front of you, and he's going to put it on YouTube in 2 seconds. And why can I not give you a good product by giving you a high-def image of this thing that I got approved? And it's just, I mean, that's
That
only
happens
for
on
a
show floors,
screenshot.
too.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, we're talking about whole game development here. I mean, how long has Final Fantasy 13 been in development? Forever.
least 2
4
months.
years.
Yeah,
To be
it's
fair,
great
I've never
development.
had to wait months for a screenshot. I usually am told within a few days, no, you can't do this.
I feel really
Oh,
bad
well, so
It
you
still
just get the
takes a long
instant no.
because the guys that actually work, like Capcom's a really good example.
Yeah.
Capcom doesn't really have a U.S. office. They have an office physically, but they're definitely just a wing of the Japanese side of things, and so everything they do has to go through that side of things
Exactly.
first, and it's everything.
Yeah,
everything.
I mean, I really
Email
don't know
press
about
releases, all
Sega.
stuff.
That was just an example
No,
of like
but
a company, but
exactly.
Capcom's
Yeah.
a great example
Yeah.
because that's true.
There's such a crazy infrastructure for all their stuff set up, and so I think that may actually be why some of that stuff is so unwilling to budge. In
And
how
so
they
now
design
that
the
they're
game.
competing against U.S. companies that don't have that issue and are coming out with fantastic products now, I think that traditional approach is going to hinder them in a great way. And I think you saw that finally, like not only with developers and the business side of things, but also with the public at last year's Tokyo Game Show.
Yeah.
I mean, that especially hinders them, we should clarify, in this market. It might not hinder them when they're working on a product for their own market in Japan. But if they're trying to bring something out here, that's when I think it really becomes detrimental, when they don't give their U.S. offices freedom.
How is the Japanese market doing?
I'm not
It's
good
okay.
with numbers.
I hear it's kind of,
It's
yeah,
very,
it's okay.
very, very portable focused right now. Like consoles are doing like, I think this week's actually going to be the second week where the PS3 actually does like a decent amount of numbers.
Ooh, yeah.
Some of their stuff that comes out, it was like they did 50,000 last week, and they'll probably do somewhere around that this week because they had the Fist of the North Star game.
Yeah.
So and then the Yakuza actually did really, really well. It's done better than any of the other games. So. But yeah, it's very, 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 very DS and PSP focused. The PSP is doing really well over there.
It's funny that a lot of
Because
those...
they're
The
smart over there.
PSP's doing well over
Very
there?
well.
Yeah.
Very well.
Smart
Compared,
over there.
really?
Yeah, they're portables.
What do you
Monster
think the
Hunter-
new
Monster Hunter
Nintendo
kills
DS,
over
the 3DS, is gonna? How is that gonna affect the market for them?
I think it'll be fine. They, for whatever reason, they are able to launch a lot of simultaneous like iterations of stuff. For the longest time, the DS Lite or the DSi sold alongside the DS Lite, and then when the what do they call it? The XL, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember. That sold just fine. So they just kind of fold them all together, but it's a pretty good breakdown as far as stuff. One doesn't really encroach on the sales of the other, which is really,
Is
really
Sony?
weird.
Do you guys know of Sony? Have you ever heard any rumblings of Sony doing any 3D stuff for PSP or anything? like
No,
that?
last week I had an interview with John Kohler. It was the PSP's 5th birthday, which was supposed to be this topic of the week. But this has gone much more interactive.
I'm sorry.
No, this is
I
much more
totally
enjoyable.
derailed. See, this is what happens
They
when you
said that right now that's
invite
not
me.
their plan. They're not looking forward that way. So as of now,
God.
Thank
no,
God,
but
yeah.
who knows?
As a small side note, just to kind of wrap up that previous thread.
Wait, you guys are
is-
not into 3D on handhelds?
No.
Really?
No.
Are you?
Yes,
3D
absolutely.
is such a gimmick. I hate
know,
No,
3D.
it's not.
I hate
It's
3D.
only a gimmick until it's taken advantage of.
Fine.
It's always going to be a gimmick.
No.
Just like
What's
Waggle.
a gimmick until
So
you don't
3D
have
in
to wear the
general you
glasses?
think is a gimmick?
Yes.
Wow. No.
Yes.
No, it is the 3D is the future. It is
I would
absolutely-
That's what
have
they
to-
said 25 years ago.
I would have to agree with you on this one.
You drank the Kool-Aid. Both of you drank the Kool-Aid.
No,
These
no.
TV
Here's the
people,
thing, don't get me
these
wrong,
video game
I-
people are like, this is what we can do. Look at this. Like,
So there's
all
two
right.
things.
I
I will
never
never
got
go
to
see
say
a
my
3D
thing.
converted movie
Sorry.
ever. I think it's a
Right.
waste of money. I think that is a total gimmick.
Yes.
Two, I do find that the glasses in general, until those can be dismissed, I don't care about 3D. I don't want to say. I mean, I don't care how comfortable they say they make those things. Those things are not comfortable. You're sitting in a spot for 4 hours with these like heavy laden little like transistors on your face, and you're like, this sucks. This ruins the
It's
movie
like
for
a
me.
buzz arc lightning. Like,
But they are coming out with technology. I mean, we saw this at last year's CES as like kind of a prototype, but that you don't need the glasses,
Yeah.
and that the glasses are getting better. So if you're the person that, for whatever reason, can't afford to like buy a brand new TV every 2 months because now they're coming out. I mean, they just started selling the first 3D capable TVs, I think, over at Best Buy like last week, and they're
Yeah.
already sold out, completely gone.
Though they didn't
Only the
ship a lot of them.
four richest
Well, no,
kings
but,
bought
yeah.
them.
But yeah, no, exactly.
But I'm just saying, once the glasses are removed, I think you
Egyptian
guys
king.
would be a lot more pro 3D.
Kool-Aid drinker.
No,
I'm with Colin.
I think that
It's never
the
gonna-
way the 3DS works is that.
All right, well, let's make this this is the day that we
Yeah.
remember that you tell us that we're incorrect, and so when we're
I like that
right,
idea.
I'm coming back
What's
and
the
rubbing it in
definition
your
of
face.
right? What's the definition of right?
With that,
When
that's
it's
going to
the
be the future.
predominant thing?
Yeah,
Yes.
that it's the predominant
Or
thing.
when it's out, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know
when
like,
CDs win over Laserdisc. When this becomes the predominant thing.
well,
Here's my prediction.
yeah,
Okay.
hit me with the Colin.
This is what I was talking about. I think I was talking maybe to Craig or something about this. The Wii is a really good example of a gimmick that they wanted to catch on, but that developers eventually started making games that never took advantage of what the
Exactly.
Wii could do. And that's exactly what's going to happen with the 3DS. You know what I mean? Because if there's
Well, we're not talking just 3DS.
Right,
We're
I'm talking
talking
about
3D.
3D in general.
well, I think the 3DS is obviously going to be the next step towards.
Because I will never buy a 3DS.
Well, think about it this way. That game like Avatar had 3D capabilities.
It had
And-
multiple techniques. For it, too.
and no one used it. I mean, that's
no one had the TV.
Well, because
that could do
nobody
it.
played
exactly.
Avatar.
Exactly. Well,
It was also not a good game.
But
So
the 3DS is going to be the next piece of consumer electronics in our field that's going to come out and utilize 3D, and that's going to be its gimmick.
Before that ever comes out, the PS3 will have 3D stuff.
Yeah, I know that.
And it's
but
launching with a really. You'll see it at E3. There's a very, very big game that's going to be in 3D.
No, I'm just telling you, it's not. I mean, I'm with Greg 100%. It's not going to catch on. It's not going to catch
All
on. Just like just like when you play Galaxy, which is the Wii's best game, and you do this to like hit something, and otherwise it doesn't use the Wii mode at all. You know.
Yeah.
Same
I
thing.
can promise you that this is going. I
I'm with her on
know
this.
some things that this is going to happen.
I
What
have
do you
no
know?
doubt. I have no doubt games are going to use it. I have no doubt big games are going to use it. It's just like the Move.
Yeah.
Big games are going to use it. I don't know how well it's going to retain. I don't know how well that's going to be a
Exactly.
motivating factor to go buy it. I have an awesome flat screen TV. I enjoy seeing it how it looks now with crisp colors and stuff. I don't want
So
goggles.
let's say
I
you
don't
have
want
the
that.
option of playing Mass Effect 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever we're going to be on.
Just 3.
In 3D without glasses, and you're telling me you wouldn't do it.
No, I hate 3D.
What? How
Without
can you hate 3D?
glasses.
You've
Because
seen
I'm in a
3D.
room. I'm not in the world. I'm not some freaking mentally handicapped person who thinks just because the HUD
So
is
you're
popping
reading a
over
book.
here.
So you're reading a book, but because you're in a room, you can't imagine yourself in that world.
I imagine myself fine in the world without having to
So why
trick
wouldn't you
my
wanna
eyes
go-
into
I don't-
whoa,
I-
the
more?
depth
I don't
of
understand
screen.
this.
Why is the fight? Why is
yeah.
there such a
Because
fight against
I have a
it?
dog who's gonna jump over me. I'm gonna have crap on my coffee table. It's gonna be, man, this spaceship looks like ass until I get 4 feet down the way.
The problem is that I really.
Small-mindedness, you two.
The problem is that I really think that a majority of gamers, and I really think that they want to play with a normal controller and they want to play on a television. They want to look at what they're playing, and that's basically what it is. I don't think you have to immerse yourself in something
So
in
then
order
what's
to
the
enjoy
point
it.
of playing games that have hardcore stories
And
if you
here
don't
we
want
go.
to immerse
Now
yourself
you
in
kicked it off right. That's the problem, is that people think that, oh, well, it's 3D, it's popping in my face, I'm immersed. Avatar
No,
is
you need to have
you're
still-
not
you need to
immersed
still
in
have a
Avatar,
good
the story.
game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Being
I'm
into
so- I'm
3D
terrified people are
does
gonna
not
get all
mean my
this
default is that I
James Cameron
expect
tech
I'm going to buy
garbage.
any game out there.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. I expect games
The
to be
games still have to be
just
good.
as good.
You're right, and that's exactly how it took off on the Wii with Waggle.
Yep.
Hey,
That-
we have an
that's-
awesome
that-
control scheme, and everybody, oh, crap.
Yeah, and now games don't even, play
no.
Boy and His Blob, turn it like you're playing an NES controller. I mean, they do
Yeah, but
anything they
we're talking
possibly
about-
can to.
We're talking about a control
So then
scheme
why are we
versus a
coming out with the
presentation.
PlayStation 3 wand? Like, what is the point of
Sony
that?
and Microsoft saw Nintendo hit,
Because
and they
it's the
said,
same exact
we want
games that you
grandmothers.
offered on Nintendo Wii. I mean, except that this one comes with archery. Except that actually, no, let me take that back because Nintendo Wii has that too.
They're doing
so
it because
I'm
they
not
want the casual
understanding.
market, but that's not going. The move is not going to sell. I mean, I'll tell you right now. No, like it'll do well initially. Maybe games like SOCOM will take advantage of it. But eventually, like what Greg is saying, is that eventually it's going to taper off.
The novelty wears off.
Yeah,
I would buy
same thing with the towel.
I would buy the what are they? The package that they're coming out with, the one with the
Oh,
iPhone
the
or the iToy.
yeah.
I mean, I would
PlayStation
have
Eye, the game, and the wand.
That to me seems like a
But
good
then you gotta
deal.
go buy
I
your
mean,
sub-controller.
so okay, so what about this? So you've got the wand. So Mr. I
Nice
Love Heavy
smart.
Rain.
Yeah.
That's going to be adjusted for that. I would actually play Heavy Rain and probably potentially, if it all works, enjoy it more with the wand than I would with the control scheme that I'm working with now, which is just the standard controller.
I mean, if people
think
push
the
boundaries of controllers like that, then sure. The problem that the initial problem with the Heavy Rain thing is that from playing the move and fooling around with it
And
at
I
GDC
play
and
iPad
stuff,
a lot.
I mean, there's buttons all
I
over
can't
the
wait for
place. You're
that
not sure
toy.
where
It's
exactly
really
it is.
cute.
So there'd
It's
be
so cute.
you'd have people initially being very like, what the hell? How do
He
I do
kind of reminds me of you. You've got the same hair.
Little Monchichi. Yeah.
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 I look like the iPad.
You're lovable. You're lovable.
Yeah, I pet creature.
I think.
Clements, you get cuter and cuter every day.
Thank you.
That's true. Pretty soon
That's
there's going
right,
to be a cuteness
listeners.
vortex.
Colin's got
We're all
nothing
gonna
to
get
say on
sucked
that,
into it.
man. Just to snort.
I don't know. I think that when we get to the point in gaming where what we're kind of talking about, gaming is not going to be what gaming is right now, and that is when we move to whatever the next thing is, and it's not going to be gaming in the sense that we have it right now.
Well,
But I'm
gaming's
telling you,
never
people-
that way. That's why we buy new systems. I mean, that's a given.
No, I just totally disagree. I think gaming's always been the same
Gaming's
way.
exactly now the way you remembered it when you were a kid.
Yeah, you hold a controller, you sit in front of a TV, you turn the system on, and
Okay,
you play.
so brand
But
new
how'd that be
stories.
So you're just talking
progressive
about
graphics,
the actual like mechanics of playing.
Yeah,
the game.
totally
basically.
unique, different types of
He's talking about the
gameplay.
actual
I'm talking
the
about how we
physical
play a game.
nature, the physical nature of how, because obviously things like Virtual Boy and all that never took off.
No, and
The-
I think that the nature of how we've played a game hasn't changed at all, and I think that you sit in front of a TV, like you talk about getting immersed in the game. Like I'm interested. When I was reading The Road, I was interested in the story. I didn't pretend like I was in post-apocalyptic United States. When I'm playing Mass Effect, I'm interested in the story. I'm not pretending like I'm in space with Commander Shepard. You know what I mean? And I'm not interested in being in that space. I'm interested in watching his story. You know what I mean? I think that's best. I don't know. I think that's best. I think it's almost pretty clear in my opinion that it's not going to take off.
What about character customization and development of your own character? If you're not going to imagine yourself as that character, why is that ever an effort?
I never make myself.
Really?
I never say.
Especially Mass Effect. I was so sucked into that whole world.
I was sucked into it because I really loved my female Shepard. I thought she was an awesome character. I liked making her decisions. I followed her journey. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But it wasn't like it wasn't Greg Shepard. It wasn't like I was like, well,
Greg Gemma Shepard.
And interesting. I mean, White Knight Chronicles is actually a good example of when you make that character that you name after yourself, presumably or whatever. But he's really just a character that's there and he's observing everything that's happening. But you're basically just doing that. So he's basically just a member of the party. You know what I mean? And it served no purpose. It's kind of the same. That's kind of like what I'm talking about in this sense or whatever. I like to observe and I get immersed. I get really interested, but I don't think 3D is going to enhance my gameplay experience.
There's also this like misconception that 3D is going to be like stuff popping out at you and flying around the room, and that's not really it. It's more about depth anyway in like beyond that plane.
Yep.
So
I think
I just caught that.
I'm actually going to side. We can like.
Oh yeah, you're the deciding vote.
It's like that Kevin Costner movie when he had a vote for the
Swing vote.
Wait, was that it?
That was it.
Yeah. I just remembered a really funny 30 Rock joke, by the way, but it would be too difficult to set up. But anyway, because we're running on now, so
we'll cap it right after this.
I'm totally open-minded to seeing how it plays out, so I can understand why Sam and Jess are excited. However, I am kind of gonna have to go with.
Be careful
Greg
what you
and Colin.
say. So that means I've got 3 people to come back here and be like,
in 20 years, we'll listen to Podcast Beyond episode 130, and we will see exactly.
In 20 years, we're going to have holographic displays and shit.
I'm not going to say that I would try and like intentionally push aside anything that might be cool. I'm not trying to say that. What I'm trying to say is that the grand majority of people who play video games because they want to. This is more actually playing on what you said. No, that sit down, relax, and it's sort of like a deep, like a.
Are you out of your mind?
Absolutely.
When would you ever play a game to sit down and relax?
Well, I certainly don't. I don't think that the grand majority of games. I don't think the grand majority of gamers want to, after a day at work or school, sit down in front of their couch, turn on their game, then stand up and like start like going like crazy and stuff like that.
But that's not 3D. That's movement.
I'm talking more about Colin's like the physical nature of how we play games doesn't change over time.
So like the iToy, Nintendo,
because for example, take reading. No one will ever propose that a new 3D book where you stand up and you start like moving it around and stuff. Even things like the Kindle, it only enhances and adjusts the physical nature, but it doesn't change the physical nature of reading. People who read don't want to read when they're doing jumping jacks or when they're bungee dive. Like it's supposed to be.
But I don't understand why you can make that statement, and yet we've got PS3 wand coming out, which requires you to stand up and jump around.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a good idea. I'm not saying it's a good idea.
Well, and I'm not saying that all 3D games are going to be good ideas either. Right. I think you're going to see your fair share of what we were saying before, where it's stuff's coming at you, and that'll be the first thing to tell you you've got a gimmicky game on your hand. It's not going to be very good. But if you can still make a solid game and enhance it with 3D, and it doesn't have to be everything, just if you're smart and you can pick key things,
we're not saying
like
that
a Mass
it's never
Effect
gonna have
3,
something good.
it would be a wonderful experience, and I don't know why you guys are fighting that possibility.
Here's the easiest comparison that you're saying, right? You're saying, well, there's going to be a lot of gimmicky stuff to begin with, yada, yada, yada. So look at the Wii.
For like kids and things like that. Like I wouldn't want to play that.
They alienated hardcore people, and that's why the games don't do it anymore, because they came out and everybody's like, let's hit with this, let's make a bunch of shovelware, I'm not saying 3D is stupid. I'm not making a blanket statement that it'll never work. I'm saying that I think it's going to be a bunch of...
Really? Because it sounded like you guys were making a blanket statement.
I'm basically making a blanket statement that it's not... maybe it'll work sometimes, but all I'm saying is that it'll taper off. No one's going to care about it.
I'm with Colin. I'm not saying that. What I'm trying to say is there will be good games that use 3D. There will be awesome experiences that use 3D. The majority of it will not, and I think that's what's going to push people away from this technology. And especially in the beginning when it's so expensive to adopt.
Exactly. And the point I was making with the 3DS was just that it's going to be a new piece of hardware and it's going to play DS games backwards compatible, but it's presumably going to play its own games. And I think what you're going to find in a year or two after the 3DS comes out is that they're just not going to use the 3D options on the DS anymore.
Okay.
Because how many? I was talking about with Sam Claiborne. Like a game like Professor Layton would be really cool with the 3DS because you can like see the side, like behind things and stuff like that. But I mean, how are you really going to utilize it? How are you really going to utilize it except for in the really cliche fashion of making things pop?
But that's
who cares?
No, that's the beauty of it is that we're not designing those games. That's actually why I'm so excited about it, is because it's going to end up opening up a whole lot more opportunities for new kinds of experiences.
That's what they said about the Wii, and that was the point I was making. That's the only point I was making.
Well,
That's the thread I was making.
But the version of the Wii technology that came out and that shipped with that console.
And just because we don't like the Wii does not equate to a Wii as a failure.
We're not trying to make giant blanket statements that wrap up everything. It's impossible. Too many threads to this story.
But that Wii technology when it came out was not what people thought it was going to be when it was announced. Basically, it wasn't the whole one-to-one thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't in 3D, which is what the Move does.
The PlayStation Move is more akin to what I think people thought it was going to be.
Exactly.
Yep, just like Motion Fighter, where wait, no.
Whoops, that game doesn't work.
All right.
That is also
20 years from now, we'll double back to
20
the
years.
topic
We
of the
should
week.
revisit this conversation even after E3.
After
I'll
E3?
say that. I'll say
All
that.
right.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd be
There's some
thrilled
pretty
to
big
eat
stuff
my
at
words.
E3 that's coming out.
As a gaming enthusiast, as someone in the industry, as someone who loves games and loved games all my life, I will love to eat my words on this. Really, straight up.
I would love you to eat your words on this too, oddly enough.
We'll see. We'll see.
I love these words. They taste like spaghetti.
We'll see when we
Bring in alphabet soup.
Ryan, you know what time it is?
Is it time for Reader Mail?
Chain Mail!
Malarkey.
Our first one is from Mind Freak Marcus. He says, "Sup, bro, Tatoes." Platinum 3 games, Uncharted 2, and Assassin's Creed 2. What's next? God of War 3 and Heavy Rain. Since I would like to platinum it, which one would be the easiest to platinum first?
Heavy Rain.
Totally.
I think so.
And it's
Without a
an enjoyable experience. You can
Yeah.
get an easy roadmap to go back and do things. Bunch of crazy endings.
And why haven't you platinumed Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs yet? That was my question.
Well, Hannah Montana. Yeah,
That's such a good movie.
Is it good?
I love that.
I
I've
wanted
not
to go
seen the
see
real
it.
movie, but
I've seen it
Scott
twice,
Bromley will not
and I
shut
will
up.
gladly buy the Blu-ray.
It was one of my favorite books as a kid, and I really want to go see the movie.
It was such a cute movie.
It looks cute.
The guys who ended up adapting that for the into a CG movie were the same guys that set up Clone High. I don't know if you guys know. So yeah, Phil Lord and
Anybody else? No, really? No
No.
Clone High
No,
fans?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, cool. Totally double back.
Never heard of it.
very, very good show.
All right, our next question is from a guy who
I will
told me
burn
how
you a
to
DVD.
pronounce his
I
name.
made
Halil.
Has menus
Halil. From Halil. He says Beyond, of course.
Beyond.
Beyond. I have a quick question. My PS3 always signs out from the PSN every single time I'm watching a DVD or Blu-ray. I'm not sure if it's only me or whether you guys have had it already, or if this happens to you. But do you know why this has happened? Thanks for everything you guys do. You kick ass.
Oh no!
It is a function, unfortunately, of the way the PS3 is set up right now.
Yeah.
Actually, I've got a quick question that maybe you guys
as
can
well.
help me with.
Well, yeah, you can't be in
made a
the
mistake.
system while. If you're having the trouble where you can't, if it's just kicking out the PSN in general, what I always find works for when it happened to me and my friends, go
ever
turn
record?
off the media server. Right now,
yeah, I
if you have that media server option turned on under your settings, it'll screw you around.
But yeah,
So
that is very normal.
here's something that I've noticed that happens with my controllers is that, and it randomly happened out of the blue. Like it always was assigned to one, and then one day, now the default. Actually, it happened right after I put Uncharted 2 in. Now the default constantly is every time I turn on. Try to start a game, I get to the actual part where you have to hit start, and it won't register, and I go back, and my settings have changed on their own to assigned controller number 2. And I only have one controller.
Do you have like Buzz or anything? When you put the
No,
Buzz
I don't
USB
have-
in there, it'll
Nothing
assign
else is
that to
plugged
number
into it?
one.
No,
Like
nothing
Rock
else is
Band
plugged
or-
in.
What
Nothing.
about do you have like a third-party Blu-ray remote or anything?
No?
That's very strange.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I have to do it for every single game now. I have to go back into assigned controllers and change it up to 1.
Have you tried plugging it in? There's a little like pinhole kind of on the back of the thing. You can reset it that.
No, I haven't done that
Yeah,
yet.
if
that,
you
try that
flip the
and
back
see
of the
if that
controller,
works.
over on the right side, there's a very small thing. Just take a bobby pin or just a real
And just
push
reset
pin.
it.
Yeah,
Okay.
might work.
that'll wipe everything it's ever had before. Ryan has a hot news tip that just came in.
little
Oh, man.
story here. I was looking at you and I was looking at your papers that you had there.
Yeah.
And I saw that there was stuff printed on both sides.
Yeah.
And I remember
we're trying
that
to
we
save
have an
paper
auto.
now.
Yes, that I set up, printing on both sides to save paper. And then I looked down at my PlayStation Store update and realized I missed half of the content because it was
Nice.
printed on the back.
Are there any minis?
So let me check and see if there are any minis.
All right, while you check, we'll come to another one. I'll find one that's not about you. Here's a great one.
Okay.
Hello, Beyond crew.
Beyond.
Specifically to
Hi.
Colin, though. Let me first start this off with a loud Beyond.
Beyond.
Beyond. My question for you guys is that I want to write guides this summer. Game to be decided. And I was wondering if you guys have any advice before I start to put in the time and effort. Keep up the good work, Jeff.
Yeah, man. I mean,
Colin, you write more guides than anybody in this room writes
Absolutely.
in a day.
Yeah, I write a lot. I got started writing facts at GameFAQs when I was a youngin'.
Huh?
And that's how I got my job. And so if you're going to do it, I just say pick a game that you know, that you're familiar with, that hasn't been well covered. And start going from there and submit it to as many sites as you can to get your name out there.
Would you say it's smarter to start with something that's really small and very, not complex?
Yeah, I would say so. My
Like
first
not
fact,
an RPG or something like that, right? Like
No,
something that's like,
yeah,
it's like
I-
action game or something
what
like
was
that.
my first FAQ? I guess it was for Mega Man.
I was going to say that seems like a perfect game to do. Like Mega Man 10.
Yeah, like that would be a good game. Yeah, just start with
The
something
order
you're
of
really
how you
familiar
attack
with.
enemies.
And make sure that don't do it just for the sake of writing. Do it because you think you can add something to the knowledge out there or whatever. Because it's cool. It's like your stuff kind of lives perpetually on the internet after you write it and it's out there. And so just make sure it's
And it
good.
helps
and
people.
Yeah, and it'll make you feel good.
Public
yeah.
service.
Yeah, and if you're really, really good, maybe you'll get a job in the industry one day too. Writing them, be cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ryan, I think has an
I
answer.
feel dumb.
Anything
Anyway,
good?
no, there's no minis, but there is an episode of The Tester out today.
Oh my goodness, who we're gonna eliminate.
fantastic.
Also,
There's a-
interesting
Last one,
side
right?
note. Sorry, is it last one?
I
Does it say anything about the
never
Tester
said seven.
finale?
7.
Anyways, at PAX East, went out there, had a good time, did a GameScoop panel. They also had an IGN trivia thing that was all around. Kids wrote down, gave their answers to this IGN booth. They tried to win some stuff. Hosting the IGN booth, and when I say hosting, I mean sitting there taking the little cards. None other than Star from the Tester.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, very interesting.
Interesting.
All right,
So
thank you,
there's
everyone.
also a PS1 classic, and there was a ton of other add-on game content, such as Little Big Planet. Heavy Rain, the Taxidermist, is out now. Did we know that it's available to everybody, not just
Correct.
people who
Yeah.
pre-ordered?
We
Okay.
we already reviewed it. I reviewed it.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't have
2
it
weeks
beyond
ago?
last week. though.
There's
Yeah.
Army of Two 40th Day stuff. There's also some Dante's Inferno stuff. And let's see what was on the backside of this. Nothing worth talking about.
Blah, blah, blah.
Okay. That's it. Those are my additions.
All right, here comes a question from Evan Dang, one of the best names you'll ever heard. He says,
Evan.
Beyond!
Beyond.
Evan Dang here from last week to tell you all what do you think, to ask you all what you think the PS3's definitive killer app is. Uncharted 2, God of War 3, or Metal Gear Solid 4.
None of the above.
Uncharted 2.
No, but he's giving you options. So you have to say from these options. We all know you say Infamous is the definitive
You
one.
know we'd all say. Oh, I have just.
You said God of War 3.
No, I said Uncharted 2.
Okay.
Yeah, Uncharted 2 out of that list.
Uncharted 2, God of War, Metal Gear.
I don't know. I'll say
Uncharted 2.
Yeah. I'll say
Uncharted.
God of War just to be
Really?
contrarian. Yeah,
That'd
I
be
actually think it's a
crazy.
really cool.
It
use
is.
of the
It's a
hardware
great
and
game.
stuff,
I mean, it's
I
fun.
mean, he gave us great choices.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
I
None of
mean,
these games would
any
be
of those
bad.
games are
Exactly.
fantastic, but
we are
I
ignoring the perfect 10 from IGN. But whatever. But no, Uncharted 2 was just a great story. It looked great. Good multiplayer.
It
Great
looked
multiplayer.
beautiful. Yeah, that was a great game.
God of War, though, can't go wrong with.
That's multiplayer.
you have forsaken me. Evan follows up with Greg. What's better, SOCOM, Fireteam Bravo 3, or Resistance Retribution? Resistance Retribution is a fantastic game.
Excellent.
Then he says, quick question for Ryan. What are
Yeah.
you more excited about, Birth by Sleep or Valkyria Chronicles 2?
Birth by Sleep, without
Really?
any doubt. Yep.
Really? Why is that? You were a big
Because
Valkyria
I'm but I'm an even bigger Kingdom Hearts fan.
fan. I see.
Yes. And honestly, I think Valkyria Chronicles was better served as a standalone, single story kind of thing, and I'm almost upset that it got a sequel.
Yeah.
Really?
I
Yeah.
hear you.
That's interesting.
Not to say I might very well love the second one. But,
Interesting.
Yeah.
So many games like that, yeah. That should get some.
Blaze56 says, I recently had my 60 gigabyte PS3 die after I got the yellow light of death. I found a fix, but it's only temporary. I couldn't play games on it for long, usually about 5 to 30 minutes before it would die again. So now I just let it roll. Now I just let it run folding at home, since I can't play games on it. I was wondering, has any of your office PS3s failed on you, or any of your personal PS3s?
That's the most selfless thing ever. Well, I can't play it anymore, so I'll just cure cancer.
That's all I use it for now.
No, nothing so far from me. So.
I know, right? Knock on wood. Me neither. I never had that.
I think one of our
Me neither.
test units I think went this week.
Yeah, Mark Ryan came over to me with the test unit. Kept trying every time you turn it on, it wanted to reset the hard
Yeah.
drive. And
No, I've got a good story about a ruined PS3.
Ooh,
it's
let's
not
hear it.
mine,
Oh, okay.
but it's one of our coworkers. I don't want to give out the name though, because this is a horrible story.
Okay.
But apparently,
Tell us off the air.
no, I mean it's fine to be on air. I'm just not going to say
Okay.
who.
Well, no, I want to know who it is. Though.
Oh yeah, off the air I'll tell you who.
Yeah.
So apparently they invited a girl back to their place, right? And in the middle of the night he woke up and she was off in the corner of a room somewhere, like kind of squatted down, and he thought she was puking or something because they had been out all night or whatever. And he's like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" She starts giggling. He comes to find out she peed on his PS3.
No way. Is this a real story?
It's a real story. So he actually called up Sony and said, "I got some water in my PS3. Do you guys send it back?" And they repaired it.
I did not hear this story.
I've never heard this story,
Yep.
and that's how it's a video team
amazing.
story. Then now we can start honing in the
It's
audience.
not a video team story.
Interesting.
It's an amazing story. Is what it is.
All right, we'll follow up on it one other time. I'll get off the air.
Yep.
Non-related
That
PS3
just goes
story.
to show you that Sony is dedicated to their
Oh, they
clients.
fixed it.
They fixed it.
Oh,
yeah.
wow, that's awesome. Good
I
job.
would hate to be I hope that person was wearing gloves of some kind.
I can imagine opening that box and being like,
man.
"Oh,
PS3 smells like pee."
in the hot nail."
Crew Thick says,
Old pee.
short question. Is Red Dead Redemption really GTA and horses? Scope-wise, gameplay-wise, is it just like GTA? Hope it is. Game looks stunning. Anybody played it in the room?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. Have you played it a lot? I
No,
loved
not
it.
a lot. Not a lot. No.
I played 15 minutes of it at PAX. It blew my mind. I said on the GameScoop, and I'll say it here too. This is the first, I think, true runner that I've played that is in the running for a Game of the Year with Mass Effect. We always say what's going to challenge Mass Effect. I think Red Dead Redemption.
I can't wait to
is a
play
shot.
that game. I'm ready
It
to
was
go.
so
I'm
much
ready to go.
fun, dude. It was, and I played it, just for 15 minutes, completely out of context. Why are you crying?
Bayonetta.
Oh, no, sorry, that's not gonna even
Yeah, no
get a
one's
mention
gonna
by the end of the year. I bet. How does that make you feel? Does that hurt your feelings?
Yeah, it's because it's a friggin' awesome game and people are dumb for not playing it.
But
Bayonetta.
I loved that game.
I know. You're smart.
Hey, Ryan.
Yeah.
That's good, y'all.
Schwebs55 writes in, is Podcast Beyond going to go explicit? And if so, will Ryan Clements not have to edit the podcast anymore?
No, it's not going explicit.
No, it is not. That's simply a TRL thing because they're already
We figured that
garbage.
one out
They're
today.
way garbage. Yeah, Chobot's making sure he's
I'm
testing
making
the
sure
theory.
that we keep things on track as far as that's concerned.
That was an easy fix. It's
Hey everybody, Zane's here, and he says, I
Clements
was
will be doing
wondering
it without
which
pants.
version
No.
of Mod Nation Racers is better, PSP or PS3 besides graphics. I was just wanting to know which version to buy because it seems like a game I would want to play while I'm traveling, plus the $40 PSP price tag isn't bad either.
Well, since I was stuck in the tunnel for the past half an hour, that's
Yeah.
exactly what I was playing. The PS3 one controls a little bit better, I think.
Yeah. It
They
does.
are essentially the exact same game, which is pretty cool. The
Exactly.
tracks are really pretty much the same, but the presentation and just the controls in general are. It just feels a little tighter on the PS3.
It's just like if you played Mario Kart DS and a Mario Kart Wii or whatever, you're gonna get tighter controls, better visuals on Wii. But then if you came down, it's still a great game on the PSP.
yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah. I've been playing the hell out of
he
it, so.
specifically points out traveling and a cheaper price tag than I
Yeah,
would
you're
say.
not losing anything by doing it on the PSP, except for maybe a little bit of fine control. That's it.
Exactly.
Nothing
And less creative control. I mean, you can't create your own stickers and shapes like you can. Like I made a Ghostbusters logo in PS3
is true.
version. You wouldn't be able to do that in PSP. But if you're just looking for a good racer,
Who knows? I mean, hell,
Why not?
people may end up finding some way to do stuff with.
well, yeah. If you want to go hack it and whatever, just
Yeah.
do whatever. Oh my goodness, we're running out of time, Ryan. How much longer you want to go for?
we can go for however long you want, boss man.
Okay.
I'm just giving you the facts.
Here's one more. Zesler says, I participated in the beta for Mod Nation Racers and found the online racing was terrible, extremely laggy. The game was quite fun, but I found that I couldn't even race with some friends. Is that experience going to be ruined? Well, no, it's a beta.
Yeah.
I mean, the game exudes polish when you play it. And the other stuff they're doing, it would be...
comes oozing out of the slot. of the PS3.
if they didn't... The load times have to be on top of the hit list of stuff to do. That
Yeah.
game runs so well,
they
looks so good.
They are. I guess they're going to be shipping out stuff pretty soon here. New versions of the.
Oh, good, good,
things,
good.
Yeah, because it still runs a little janky, but the online stuff rather was totally like disabled. I think because it still checked for their own. It was like one of their internal builds, the stuff that we have. So hopefully the new one is going to have some sort of online stuff, and we can see if it's improved at all. But it definitely.
Well,
the
we're
whole
getting
reason
close.
for having a
May
beta in the first
25th. I mean, they got to pull the trigger on getting this. First off, they got to go gold, and then we got to start playing on online test it out.
Yeah. On the online.
Hey, Colin.
Yo.
I'm kicking this one to you. Chobot, I want you to hear too. I know you guys have gotten a question like this before, but who would win in a fight? Metal Gear Solid 2 Snake, Splinter Cell Conviction Sam Fisher, Bourne Conspiracy Jason Bourne, or Quantum of Solace James Bond with no weapons and they're all in an alley?
Jason Bourne, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
I
Solid
lost track
Snake.
of our options. Can I see the list?
Yeah, you got Snake, Fisher, Bourne, and James Bond.
Bourne is awesome, dude. I love that character.
Snake.
I like Fisher.
You think so?
Yeah.
See, my thing is that what's awesome about Splinter Cell Conviction, which should come to the PS3 but isn't, is that you get the whole mark and execute thing. But you have to have a gun. You know what I mean? You're all doing these quick
But
kills.
we're talking without weapons, though, right?
Exactly. There's
Yeah.
no weapons. That's why I say he's out of the running. Bourne does really good fighting.
I just think Fisher looks attractive in the latest rendition. So
and
I'm
he
choosing
sounds awesome.
Fisher.
He does sound awesome.
I mean,
He's
Bourne,
voiced by Michael Ironside, which kind of beats everybody
yeah.
else. So
Bourne, dude, I don't know. In all the movies, he's like it's mostly like physical combat. He's pretty
I always
nuts.
thought Matt Damon was kind of a Streisand, but he's really kicking ass.
Matt Damon.
That was a 40-year-old virgin reference.
Yes.
I hope that's okay.
That's fun.
All right.
Unacceptable.
Hey, Ryan, question for you.
Yes.
I noticed there was no podcast on the 11th. This is from Stephen Meartill, by the way.
Hi, Steven.
The 11th, and no podcast on the 25th. Are you starting to do the podcast every other week? I assume it's because there was no Game Scoop during these weeks, too, so it seems like a mistake or something.
Nope. I think we discussed it already, but we are certainly doing a podcast every week still. It's just that
Last
we
week
were
we
moving
were moving,
offices.
and the week before that was GDC.
GDC,
yes.
So there's your problems. There was a Game Scoop last week. It was filmed live at PAX. You should go download it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll wrap it up with here. This one comes from Daniel Spontak. It says, "Hey Beyonders, what if Sony Santa Monica had originally made God of War 2 for the PS3 rather than the PS2? If the game came out in early 2007, would the PS3 by now be more popular than the 360? Would God of War be even better than the one we have today?" You don't think this changes everything? This isn't a game changer?
I think no. Unfortunately, I think $600 is a little bit stronger.
Yeah, that was the problem.
Any one
God
game.
of War?
For any one
For
game.
Kratos and his anger?
It was. I mean,
Snorting
some of the
today.
special features on God of War 3 do discuss that. They actually they went back and forth between it being something that could run on the PS3 and on the PS2. And in fact, they had all that code up and running and everything. And they just finally went, nope, we'll do PS2 because
Smart
Shu
move.
Yoshida came in and was like, nope.
I think it.
How it sounded when it came in?
Yeah.
English.
That's exactly what it sounds like.
I think God of War 2 probably would have sold a lot worse actually if it was on PS3 because
Probably.
of the high
makes
price
a lot
point.
of sense.
Yeah, install base, right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
All right.
So yeah,
there
That's
you
it.
go then. No, nothing would have changed. We'd still be where we are today. God of War 3 probably would have been better, though, right? I mean, it would have been even more polished.
So the thing that kind of came through in all the interviews that I was doing with them at their little launch event a couple weeks back was that the game code itself was more or less untouched. All the stuff for movement, all the stuff that they do, the graphic stuff is obviously new, and they kind of figured out some stuff with the SPUs, but the core of the game is pretty much unchanged. So I think having a new director had more of an impact than any sort of switch in hardware.
Interesting.
So yeah,
All right.
that's what I'll think.
That's Reader Mail. Another one in this bag. Remember, if you have a question for Reader Mail, come to Beyond it, or email us at beyond@ign.com, or go to boards.ign.com. Sorry, everyone, this week. We posted a boards thread, but when I asked it to get sticky, the moderator accidentally locked it. So there was a giant boards thread that you could submit your questions, but you could not submit questions. We'll make sure that doesn't happen anymore. That will be at the top of the priority list from now on when I have someone sticky something for me.
This thread is very important. Got it. Locked.
Now,
We
no
really
one
need to
can
hear what people
use it.
think. Not a problem.
All right, Ryan, what do you want to do next? No editor
let's-
beatdown. We got nothing.
Yeah, let's
We're all
do.
super
Do
busy.
you want to do the hit of the week?
Sure.
Oh wait, sorry. Is
What do
that
you
what
got?
it's called?
Yeah, PSN hit of the week.
Yeah. So what was? I totally forgot what our other segment is. Where we pick of the week. I was getting them confused.
Oh no, yeah, I know. You're rusty. It's been a while.
I know. Yeah, I know.
It's
It's been a while.
new environment.
Okay.
A little crazy.
So hit of the week. This was actually a Greg recommendation that he found when going through email. We got an email from Anthony, I believe. Anthony is a Marine, I want to say. Man, I'm really upset if I get that wrong. Hold on a second. Let me just make sure.
I don't like
because
being confused.
He's
The military
he's
does not like being confused. Let's see.
At the very
Marines
bottom is
especially.
signature. I think if you have a signature on that page, it
Yeah,
says what it is.
he has like all this different stuff talking
I
about.
think they all insult the other one, don't they?
Yeah, it ends with basically. I'm spitting on the paper. It ends with a Marine Corps shout out. So I was assuming he was a Marine. I
He's in the
apologize.
armed forces for these
I
United
apologize,
States.
yes.
He has a bunch of cool tattoos, gaming tattoos.
Yes, they're awesome.
He's jacked, believe it.
And apparently he's stationed in the Far East. And he's anyway. Basically, when he got a PS3 in Okinawa, he tried to play Street Fighter 4, and all the people that were on there, because of the time difference, were Japanese gamers, and they were super good. So it sounds like he got his butt kicked. So if you do want to play with Anthony and maybe allow him to kick butt instead, because a proud member of the armed forces, his PSN ID is F#. F as in EFF-sharp, which I thought was pretty good. What was that old Simpsons band? The
B-Sharps.
The B-Sharps. That was it. Yeah. Good stuff.
Oh,
Anyway,
those were the days.
contact Anthony F#. You can play with a military guy stationed in Japan, I guess,
All right.
which
sounds
is
like
pretty
fun.
badass.
Yeah.
PSN hit confirm.
At the GameScoop panel, somebody asked to be the PSN hit, so I did it there, and I did my best impression. I did a serious one. I didn't do my usual. There's a raccoon
your joke ones
tarantula
are amazing, though.
in the helicopter with me.
Wait a second.
All right, brand new special segment, Liar. This is one looking forward, of course. Check back at the podcast right after E3 and in 20 years to see if 3D technology has taken off. Put this one in your time capsule.
Back in 20 years. Put that in your calendar.
Cryogenically freeze this podcast.
Just got a calendar invite about podcast Beyond 20 years ago.
Microsoft Outlook 2030. All right, hey, what do we got for the tournament winners there, Ryan?
Tournament winners. All right, so I'm really sorry. Smokey90 sent me tournament winners, I believe, for this week, and I accidentally deleted the Facebook message.
Oh,
I feel really bad.
Vampire Strike!
No, it was accidental. Anyway, so sorry, Smokey90. If you could email me again, or just Facebook me again, I'll make sure not to delete.
Who's the one guy who always wins? Every week it's like the same dude.
Cold Comfort, is it?
No.
No, wait.
Well, I like him though. We can give it to him.
Yeah, all right.
So Cold Comfort, congratulations on winning the tournament this week.
No, who is it? Oh, iPhone Fools. Right?
that's what
iPhone Fool.
iPhone. Oh my God, I forgot his
Noobs, I
name.
think. iPhone Noobs sounds right.
Anyway.
Congratulations on winning Prussia or whatever the hell it happened. There you go.
Anyway, sorry, Smokey90. We'll do it next week.
All right, so that brings us to the end of another Podcast Beyond. Remember to get in touch with us. We want to hear from you. Beyond@IGN.com. You can find us all on Facebook. I'm Facebook.com/GameOverGreggy. Ryan is Facebook.com/7Winters.
Yep.
There you go.
That's me.
Colin's just Colin out there. Just look for Colin Moriarty.
/Appeal to Heaven, actually.
What?
Yeah.
Appeal
to Heaven. Where's that
It's a
reference?
Revolutionary War slogan.
Of course. There you go. Sam, you're on the Facebooks.
I am on the Facebook.
You want me to find you?
because it's
Can't
great.
remember. I think it might just be Sam Bishop.
All right, just look for Sam Bishop.
Yeah.
Jessica Chobot, you're all over this thing.
Yeah.
If you can't find
I've
Jessica
got two.
Chobot.
Well, here I've got two. I prefer everybody go to the fan page because the other one kind of locked up on me.
Yeah, what was that all about? They want you to start from scratch at one point.
Yeah, it was such a horrible experience. So I had like a standard, average, regular, personal Facebook page, and I just would accept everybody because I thought, well, this is just why not? And so I did. Well, apparently I eventually hit, which was unknown to me, a level cap.
Yeah.
At 5,000 people.
Crap.
So
that's
the
right.
minute that it ended up hitting that, then what would happen is it started affecting my updates and started deleting people randomly on its own. And then also I couldn't ever update anything through my phone or get emails or anything like that. So basically,
Did they fix it yet?
no. I basically and I
46.
and I tried to like do it in a way where I could delete everybody and then like put them in a different list, and that wasn't working. And so eventually I tried all these options, none of it was working. Facebook wouldn't respond to me, so I just shut the whole thing down and now have like a personal one which is strictly for family, friends and family, and then another one which I still update completely on my own, like pretty much every day, numerous times a day.
Like the fan page?
Yeah, like a fan page. So
that doesn't have a limit, right?
And that has no limit, and you don't have to wait for me to approve you, and I'm always on there. And also, can I toss one more thing out? Can I promote one more Facebook page?
Why not?
IGN Cats. All right.
Well, don't forget IGN.com, too. Find that Facebook page.
So IGN.com, my personal Facebook page is /Jessica Chobot fans. And then IGN Cats. Just do a search for IGN Cats. And everybody who has cats in the office and our fans can put pictures of their cats up.
Yeah, I think I need to throw a couple pictures
It's
in there.
really cute.
Funny story. Last night, I woke up in the middle of the night to the telltale sign of an animal vomiting. It sounded, and for some reason, the sound cued in my head of one of my cats from childhood. And I was like, the cat's thrown up. It's down on the floor, though. That doesn't matter. Portillo's not down there. Portillo's in bed with me, so I'm fine. And then I'm like, as long as I'll make sure Portillo doesn't go down there afterwards. And sure enough, the vomiting stops, and Portillo gets up and starts going downstairs. I'm like, no, Portillo, don't. And I move my foot and realize Portillo just vomited in the bed. Damn it. And then it's like that realization of why would I think a cat from 10 years ago was living. Oh, my God. Yeah, so if you haven't rated us on iTunes, find the podcast Beyond there. Please give us a bunch of good stars. And if not, don't do anything, you jerk. What do we want? We don't want to talk to you anyway. I think we covered it, right?
Yeah,
the tweets. IGN.com for the Twitters.
New dog.
Got more people?
I'm
No.
getting
you gotta
the
go
wink
do
that I gotta
We're
go
closing
do
it up
fix
anyway.
and strategize.
Thank you for joining us, Jessica.
Thanks for having me, guys.
We're about to play a song here. It's called the Greg Miller Bounce. This is a song submitted by a fan that's a little techno beat with some of my crazier catchphrases put in. This fan found me at PAX East and was like, oh man, I sent that song and never got put in. I was like, oh, I'm very sorry. We'll put it in this week. I immediately forgot the dude's name, and I didn't search the mails before I came down. We'll have it in the body text. However, we put it on Facebook today. Hey, we need to know who did this song. Someone posted that we already put it in a podcast, maybe. Episode 115, he thought.
I don't know.
We're playing it again because it's a good song, and this will just make us good with karma no matter what. We're out of the table.
Actually.
Does it sound familiar to you too?
Yeah, but,
Whatever, it's a good one. Just go. Jessica Chobot leaving the building. Everybody, thank you so much, Ryan. Thank you so much, Colin.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Sam. Thank you, of course, for listening. This is Podcast Beyond.
Beyond.
Beyond! We're back, Sam.
Yes.
Here's the special bonus segment of Podcast Beyond.
I'm so excited.
No one knows that we're down here in the deep labyrinths of the podcast room. It's Ryan and Sam again. So, hey, I have a very important story to tell, Sam, that I totally forgot to tell because I forgot my little pink Post-it note.
Those are very handy.
I know, they're very handy, and I forgot to tell it, and I promised some readers that I was going to tell it on this episode. I wanted to make sure I came through.
All right.
So,
I'm very excited about this.
I think you probably know about the website Chat Roulette, right?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So, on Chat Roulette,
Though I have
if you
never
don't
ventured
know-
there.
Oh, I ventured there.
I
ventured there.
I see my quota of male dongs
Yes.
when I'm in the shower.
So Chat Roulette is a website similar to a website I used to frequent called Omegle, where it pairs you with a random user online, and you just chat with them. And I liked Omegle a lot because I could talk to people. There was a lot of people from Asian countries. There's a lot of people from European countries that would come on there, and you just talk to them for a little bit. And Chat Roulette, very similar premise. In fact, I don't even know, did it start before Omegle and I just didn't hear about it? I think it came after.
It came into prominence definitely afterwards. So
Yeah.
it's something that's
Prominence
only
afterwards.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was established before.
It's a very similar mechanic, except there's a webcam there
exactly.
as well.
Exactly.
So you're basically just webcamming with a random person from around the world. Now, a lot of the time, this can be awesome because you're just connected with a random person. I talked to a Norwegian death metal artist at one point.
Nice.
I've talked to like this mom from Germany who was this really sweet lady who was like on the computer, and her little kid was like next to her. And I was like, you might want to make sure he is not looking at the screen most of the time, because a giant percentage of the time on Chat Roulette you'll just get men pleasuring themselves in really inappropriate, vastly inappropriate.
Not saying anything, not doing anything, except just sitting there.
It's just there. The camera's just
jerking their gherkin.
Just full force.
Yeah.
Now, the other night, was it this weekend? I forgot when it was. But anyway, the other night I was on Chat Roulette. I was waiting for my girlfriend to get back from some meeting she had. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll waste time on Chat Roulette until she gets back. So I go on there, I'm clicking through. Now, by the way, here's a quick note here I just want to say. Every girl that I have ever connected with, except maybe one or two, all right? And keep in mind, I am a totally appropriate person on Chat Roulette.
Right.
So I'm always just, nice, clean conversation. I'm just interested in talking.
Yeah.
Every girl is always just instantly disconnected from me when they see me, which is a huge blow to the ego. I'm like, I think I'm an okay-looking guy. It's not like I'm some deformed monster.
No.
So I would have thought, let's see what this guy has to say. But no, it's just like I see a pretty girl. She looks at the camera. Boom! Next, disconnect. And I'm like, oh, man. Anyway. But I'm going through, and I get connected to a bunch of guys. They're just messing around. They're goofing around because they have the computer on, sort of in their room. And so they're all just, kind of joking around and stuff.
Yeah.
And I see a guy kind of off to the side, lean over, I see his shoulder come into the shot, and then hands come down to start typing, because he was not actually at the computer at first. And then a message pops up. Now, this is the first message I receive from a total group of strangers, all right? The first message is, blink, is this Ryan Clements? And I was like,
dun, 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 dun.
So I'm like, maybe. Why? What's going on? He's like, oh, nothing. You just look like Ryan Clements from IGN. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And I just kind of chill there for a bit. I play my cool. I actually don't care if people recognize me. I think it's great. And I was very surprised.
Yeah,
so I'm like, yeah, maybe this is Ryan Clements. What about it? And he's like, I don't know. That'd be pretty cool. And I was like, oh, all right. Ask me anything about Beyond, and I'll tell you. And all of a sudden, these dudes just erupted. They were like, oh, it's Ryan Clements. Oh. And they were just jumping around. It was fantastic. So apparently, the magic of Chat Roulette connected me with 3 random huge Beyond and IGN fans in
so
Iowa.
Awesome.
And so I have to give a huge shout out to Brett, Rob, and Jordan, who I met through Chat Roulette, and we
3
chatted for a
amigos
little
from the
bit.
heartland.
Yes, from Iowa. thank you very much for not showing me your genitalia. Yeah, that was pretty cool. So I would recommend anyone who has not done chat roulette and is mature enough to click next when a giant naked man comes on the screen.
I will say this. Have you seen, there's Ben Folds did a concert in Raleigh, I think it was.
And do you know where that originated from?
No.
There's a YouTuber named Merton
who just improvised stuff, right?
Who improvises stuff on chat roulette, and Ben Folds did that in like tribute to him. And obviously with many more people watching live,
that was actually, it was really cool because
awesome.
Exactly, someone would come on and everybody would just go, yeah! You know? And I can only imagine
the toilet.
Yes,
the guy who brought it in with the toilet with him. And it's like 2,000 people in Charlotte, and they're like, yeah, toilet guy! Yeah! Anyway,
man.
So that was my story. Big shout out to those guys. I didn't. It's cool to know that we have listeners all over the country like that.
Absolutely.
Sam, do you have anything to add in this time when it's just me and you hanging out? Big empty podcast room.
It's true. It is kind of lonely in here. No, man.
Maybe I should pick things up.
Yeah.
I'm unbuttoning my shirt for you listeners.
And I'm pulling mine off.
Oh, man. All right. Well, let Sam get back to his gigantic list of reviews, probably.
You know what? It's only, I think I've got like three in a hardware review, which is not that bad. Yeah, and one. You know what's sad? One of them is Final Fantasy 13. I have to finish that game, and I'm at the
ending
point now.
Is good.
Yeah.
Really
I'm at the point where the
ending.
game is now in like FU mode, and I just got to work until I get
like
to
the difficulty kick in the balls mode.
Exactly.
All
So
right.
I had to put it down because I had a bunch of stuff that came up, and GDC mostly, and I still haven't been able to get back to it. So yeah.
Oh man. All right. Well, I got to stop this. We're running out of time. All right. Thank you, Sam. Beyond.
No problem. Beyond.
And
beyond to all of you.
And beyond to all you little kids out there. Can
All
you
you wee children.
Yes. Oh, I love Sam's Irish accent. Beyond.
Ready? I'm percolating. Let's go. I'm gonna bronze these fists.
What does that mean?
Rub it on.
Why have hamburger when you can have steak?
I feel like Portillo's turned into a hairy boat and I'm riding down a river of cheese.
Rub it on. 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 So yeah.
Hey, this is Dr. Dingo. You're listening to Ranch with Ranch on WLMU. Ranch. Buddy, I'm Ranch. Thanks for listening to Ramblin' with Ranch. Doctors recommend having 200% ranch in your diet on Wednesdays at 1 in the morning here on WLNSTK.
So yeah. So yeah. Here in my car. Yes, kids, suck it.
He's making some rice-a-roni and I threw it in your face. You stopped to say something. You're like, oh, yeah. You're like, Imagine rice-a-roni on the thing. He's in a white beater with a cigarette. No, a white beater and a cigarette.
A white beater.
Somebody walks up talking about freaking 360. He's like, oh, no.
San Francisco treat.
The only problem with the rice.
So yeah. So yeah.
Cars.
Yeah. Basically.
My car. I drive cars every car. Ryan's inside me. Pressing my buttons.
That's
Fiddling with my joystick.
I was just about to say my hands are wrapped around your joystick.